Welcome to Spicy Salsa Movie Reviews, where we try and keep it extra spicy around here. Please hit the like, subscribe, and a notification bell if you enjoy my content. Enjoy the movie review. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is a movie directed by Andre Overdahl about some teenagers led by Stella, played by Zoe Colletti, and Ramon, played by Michael Garza. They find a scary storybook in a haunted house, and now all the scary stories they were afraid of as youths are being written in the book and are happening to the teenagers in real life. The goal is for Stella and Ramon to stop the stories from continuing and killing them all. I would like to preface this by saying I did not read the books, so I am going into this from a standalone movie point of view. This movie is essentially a bootleg Final Destination movie. There is no other way to say this. This is exactly what I saw in it. It is one of those films that probably should have just stayed a book. My main issue with this movie is the scare factor. There is none. All the monsters are laughably terribly done. The one monster in this film looked like Momo with Down syndrome. She could probably lose a race to a turtle in this movie. I would have Spartan kicked that bitch so hard in the chest and then just called it a day. The scariest part of this movie was when a teenage boy was being dressed by his mom as a clown and her stating it is a little loose around the crotch. That scene made me so uncomfortable. That 5 second scene will haunt me honestly for the rest of my life. This movie begins as your typical horror flick where these teenagers apparently have no curfew, so they visit a haunted house in the middle of a Halloween night. This leads them to the scary book of stories. First of all, these kids are way too old to be trick or treating. If these kids walked up to my front door asking for some candy, I would have kicked them off my fucking porch and told them get a fucking job, you bums. Trick or treating is for the little kids. That's what's wrong with society back then and today. Anyway, they stumble upon this musical box as well in the haunted house, playing some creepy ass music. It's time to start using your instincts in this one. You should react to a musical box in a scary movie setting the same way a caveman will react to a rattlesnake. You get out of that situation as soon as possible. The teenager Stella ends up bringing this cursed book back to her house and begins to read it as if it was Dr. Seuss's Green Eggs and Ham just to see the stories being written in it, killing off her friends. She does the smart thing though, which I will commend her for. She returns the book the next day back to the haunted house. However, you guessed it, it's too late for all that bullshit. The book keeps returning to her possession. Most of the death scenes in this movie were weak sauce all around, very predictable and just not scary. Nothing unique about them. Where is all the killing creativity in these movies these days? I will give them credit for one unique death scene though, and this was the best part of the movie for me, which also happens to be unintendedly funny. It is when a scarecrow whoops one of the teenagers' ass and then stuffs him with hay. One of the funniest things I ever seen in a movie. A side issue I have with the scarecrow in this movie is there is no way you can convince me that normal everyday farmers would create such a weird looking scarecrow. This is a regular scarecrow on a farm to scare away regular ass birds. This is a scarecrow that will come to life and attack you in your sleep and scare away pterodactyls. Some small random terrible things I found in this film. There's one line that Stella says with a stone cold face. You don't read the book reads you. This is something Drake would say in his latest album, so it was pretty cringy and made me facepalm pretty hard. Another thing is they also have what is essentially a zombie Alex Jones doing radio voiceover at random points in the movie, which is hinting at Ramon's problem, but no disc jockey be sounding like that. This all leads us to our conclusion. Stella goes back to the haunted house and is pleading with the ghost fighter to stop all the stories. She begins by talking the ghost to death, and that's what happens. The ghost gets talked to death. That is the end of the movie. And somehow, at the end of the movie, Stella believes that she could bring back people from the dead with the book. All I see in that is sequel. My rating for this movie is 3 out of 10, and I believe that is me going easy on it because for a scary movie, it wasn't scary at all. I would like to thank you for watching this video. Please leave comments below, critiques, anything. If you like the movie, maybe I was wrong about some parts, please leave everything below. Also, please subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell if you want to hear more. Thank you. Peace out.